Hey Mixers, welcome back to another NFL player props video. Well, it's not really a player props video, but we need to go through all the game total sides and spreads for all the games for week 11. I know this video is coming out way late on a Tuesday night, but that's just how it is. I've been busy at work, and it's probably just going to keep getting busier and busier. So, yeah, we're just going to have to deal with it. But let's jump into that. And it is going to be a longer video as usual. It is the longest video of the week, so bear with me, guys. All right, so if you guys remember from last week, I did warn you that there were a lot of division games this week, and so to be careful with your betting. I didn't do so great picking the money line spreads and game totals. Okay on the money lines. The game totals did drop under 50%, so that is kind of the takeaway here from those. And then the game bets, our super teaser only missed by 4 legs, so I got 13. I got 9 out of the 13 legs, which I thought was pretty great. My super teaser this week, though, has a way better payout, so I'm probably going to miss more legs, but who knows? It's just for fun. My underdog parlay with the Steelers at the Chargers and the Eagles at the Packers, the Steelers could not come through for us. And then the Browns should have beat the Jets. They did not. The Jacksonville Jaguars should have beat the Texans. They were way up on them and could not put it away. And then the Steelers could not beat the Chargers, but I did get the Eagles on the spread against the Green Bay Packers. So at least we got something. But overall, not a good week on the game bets. Not terrible. It could have been worse, but wasn't great. On the player props, we did okay, but not great. 2 for 4. So we're still above 50% at 53.85% on the player props. Drake May had a great day. Kyron Williams had a great day. Aaron Rodgers did not have a great day. Quentin Johnson did have an okay day, but his first reception was really short, and so his first 2 receptions couldn't get us there. Michael Penix, they played a great game, but he just did not have a lot of completions or even pass attempts. So did not get us there. And then Dalton Kincaid did not catch his touchdown like we wanted, so he did not cash his fantasy score. And of course, the whole Bills team struggled against those Dolphins, which was insane. The leans, we only had 1 lean and it did not come through. They used their new toy, Jacoby Myers, a little bit more. Plus, that was just a tough game. And then the touchdown calls, we did get Drake London and we got Emeka Egbuka. Taysom Hill did have a rush right next to the end zone. He just couldn't punch it in. So that would have been plus 450. That would have been super nice. But Saquon didn't get a touchdown either. That was a very low scoring game. Dalton Kincaid didn't get in, and JJ McCarthy. And then our TD parlay was blown up. Jahmyr Gibbs got one in the first play of the game, practically. Then Quinshon Judkins could not do his part. So the touchdowns continued to be bad for me, so keep that in mind. But I think it's still fun. I'm still going to waste my money on it every week because it's just fun to make touchdown calls. And I'm only betting half units and then quarter units on some of these. All right, Colts and Saints are on bye this week. Next week will be the Dolphins, the Commanders, the Broncos, and the Chargers. So let's go through the games one by one here. The Jets at the New England Patriots is the Thursday night football game. This spread started at like 8.5, and now it's opened up to 11.5, 12.5. So it's kind of creeping up, but I imagine it'll probably end somewhere around 11.5. Patriots won the last 3 head-to-heads. The Jets won the previous 2 before that, and then the Patriots won 15 straight before that. But that was obviously during the Tom Brady era. The Jets are scoring about 24.5 points away, and the Patriots are allowing about 18 at home. So I see the Jets getting to about 17, and then the Patriots are scoring 25 at home, and the Jets are allowing 26.5 away, roughly. So I see like 24 to 27 for the Patriots. So that means a Patriots win. So Patriots on the money line here, which it's minus 800. So obviously the books agree. And then the Jets, I will take on the spread because that is a really big spread for like a division game. I know the Jets suck and the Patriots are on the rise, but that's still a huge spread. So I'll lean towards the Jets. I'll lean towards the under 43.5 just because I think the Patriots can score. Not sure if the Jets can score, but I think the Jets defense might actually be able to hold them to a little bit of a lower score so they don't go over 30 by themselves, just the Patriots. And then for the super teaser, I'm going to tease the Jets up even more to plus 20.5. So that will be my super teaser. For the super teaser, I'm always looking for minus 300 to minus 500 odds, somewhere in there. And then, we'll have 13, 14, 15 legs or so. And so the payout will be pretty good. This one's really good this week. All right, Washington at Miami. This one's in Madrid. So keep that in mind. It is an international game. The spread's only 2.5, which is kind of crazy, but the Dolphins are also the favorites, which is kind of crazy. And I like the Dolphins, so that is kind of crazy. So everything's kind of crazy here. Commanders are kind of scoring right around the same points every single game and allowing the same points every single game. And same with the Dolphins. So I see it to be actually a pretty close game, but kind of on the higher side, since the defense on Washington Commanders really terrible. A-Chain's going to cut through them like butter. And then the Dolphins, I know the Dolphins can score. I'm not sure if the Commanders can score, but I think they can. So we'll go 27-24 on the score, meaning we'll lean towards Miami. We'll lean towards Miami on the spread, and then we'll go over the 47.5. And for the super teaser, we'll either take Miami plus 3.5, like teasing through 0, or just take the over of 40.5. So tease that total down to 40.5 and then take the over there. I like both. So I haven't decided yet which one to use. Carolina at the Atlanta Panthers. I mean, not the Atlanta Panthers. Wow. Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons. The Panthers won the last 2 head-to-heads, which obviously one of them was this year, which was the 30-0 blowout. Home teams lost in 2024, so they traded, and the home teams lost. And then in 2023, they traded, but the home teams won. So not a lot of consistency in this division. Panthers are scoring 20 points away from home, and the Falcons are allowing 23. The Falcons are scoring 22 at home, and the Panthers are allowing 22. So I think this is going to be a close game, 21-17. So a close, low-scoring game. I could also see it blowing up into a very high-scoring game. I don't see it being a super low-scoring game. But, obviously it's football. Anything is possible. So I will lean Atlanta on the money line, Atlanta on the spread, but I do think it's going to be close. I have this as a 4-point spread, and the spread's 3.5. And then we'll take the under 42.5. And in my super teaser, I am going to take Carolina plus 10.5 on the spread here to keep it close. Although, I died in my Survivor League, unfortunately, because I chose Carolina Panthers. All right, Tampa Bay at Buffalo. The home teams won in 2023 and 2021, so this is a 1-1 series. They don't play each other that often, which is kind of, they're in separate conferences, and this could be like a eventual Super Bowl preview. I don't think this year that's going to happen, but maybe one day. Anyway, the Bucs are scoring pretty well on the road and at home, over 20 points. The Bills are scoring 25 to 30 points, whether they're on the road or at home. So I do see this being a high total game. I'm going to say 27-23, which would leave the score at 50. So Buffalo money line, I will take Tampa Bay on the spread to keep it close because betting on Baker as an underdog on the road is just a really good spot. So I will do that. And then the over 47.5. I liked the best bet I could find that I liked from this game was the Bucs team total over 16.5. Dragged it down a little bit and then put it in the super teaser. But I would put Buffalo in a Moneyline Parlay as well because I do think Baker can keep it close. But ultimately, I think the Bills do get the win. And this is the best Moneyline number you're ever going to get on the Bills probably, unless they're playing like the Chiefs or like the Eagles or something like that. All right, the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. I actually am surprisingly, maybe not that surprisingly, but I'm on the Titans here. So the Jags should have beat them last week. I don't know that the Titans are going to do it any better, but now the Houston Texans have to go on the road with that quarterback, Davis Mills, who is absolutely horrible. I mean, I think Cam Ward is much better than him. Texans won 5 out of the last 6 head-to-heads. The Titans won a high-scoring game in Texas in 2024, so that wasn't too long ago, just last year. The Texans are scoring 20 points away, and the Titans are allowing 25. And the Titans are scoring 18 at home, and the Texans are allowing 16.7. So I see very close game, 20-21. And so I will take Tennessee on the money line. I am going to play that. I am going to take Tennessee on +7. And I like the over of 38.5, but I don't think I'll be betting on that. In the super teaser, I think I'm going to take Tennessee +17.5 on the spread there because I was able to get that at -403. So really good number to get tons of points for the Titans here. All right, the Bears and the Vikings. I think that this one's going to be a really interesting matchup because this is in Minnesota, but the Bears need to try and get revenge for week 1 when Minnesota Vikings came in and beat them at home. So the Vikings have won 8 of the last 9, but the Bears won 12-10 in Minnesota on Thanksgiving weekend 2 years ago. So it has been done, but not with these exact players. The Bears are scoring really, really well. So they're scoring about 26 points per game, and the Vikings are allowing about 22 at home. And then the Vikings are scoring 22 points per game, and the Bears are allowing 34 when they play away. But I don't care. I'm going to take the Bears. 24-21 is the score I have. So Bears money line, Bears spread, +3. And then I will take the under 48.5. I think this could be a sneaky low scoring game. And then in my super teaser, I'm going to take the Chicago team total over 17.5 is what I'll do there. All right, Green Bay at the New York Giants. The Giants have won the past 2 head-to-heads. One was home and one was away. The Packers won the 3 before that, but that was before Jordan Love. The Packers are only scoring 20 points on the road. Oh, no, that's at home. They are scoring 28 away, so they are playing better on the road. The Giants are allowing only 22 at home, though. And then the Giants are scoring 21 at home, and the Packers are allowing 25. So I think 27-17, 27-20. I think the Packers get the win, no problem here. And, I would tease Green Bay down to 1.5 if you want to, because, that's better than just taking them on the money line here. That's too much to pay, -390. What I'm going to do for the super teaser is I'm taking them down to 2.5 because I don't want to pay as much juice, and I don't think I need the extra point. But maybe if that bites me in the butt, then I'll be sad about it. All right, Cincinnati at the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we do have a lot of division games this week as well, so keep that in mind. The Bengals won the past 2 head-to-heads, 1 away and 1 home. The win in Pittsburgh was week 18 last year. So the Bengals needed it, but it was kind of meaningless for the Steelers. So the Steelers won the previous 3 head-to-heads before those last 2. Bengals are scoring only 12 points away. So they are scoring 33 at home, but only 12 away. So that's kind of crazy. And they're allowing 30 plus, whether they're away or at home. And then the Steelers are scoring 23.6, whether they're away or at home, and allowing about 24. I think the Steelers win easily here, 27-21. And I'll take Steelers on the money line, Steelers on the spread, and the under 49.5. And then I think you could put Pittsburgh in a Moneyline Parlay, but they did ruin one of my Moneyline Parlays last week, although they were the underdog last week, so kind of different. And I know that you're supposed to fade Mike Tomlin as a favorite, but I don't know. This feels like a Mike Tomlin spot. This feels like a Steelers spot for me. Super teaser, I'm going to take the Pittsburgh team total over 20.5. All right, Chargers and Jacksonville. The Jaguars should have beat the Texans last week and totally just completely ruined their opportunity there. So maybe that's what they do again, but I'm going to side with them here. So the Jaguars did win the previous 2 head-to-heads, and the Chargers won the 2 before that. So it seems like just the best team wins, basically. So the Chargers are scoring 24 and allowing 20. The Jaguars are scoring 22 and allowing only 17 at home. They're allowing 30 on the road, but they're only allowing 17 at home. So I think this is going to be a closer game than people think. 21-21 is what I have it. 21-20. And so I will take Jacks on the money line like I did last week. Jacks on the spread +3 and then under the 43.5. And for the super teaser, I will take Jacksonville +10.5. All right, Seattle and the Rams. This is going to be the best game of the week, in my opinion. The Bucks and Bills might have the potential to be also a good game. But this one, I think I'm looking forward to this one. The home teams lost in 2024, so they traded. And then in 2023, the Rams swept. And in 2022, the Seahawks swept. So they've kind of been trading who's good. And this year, they're both good. I mean, they have good defenses here. I do think the offense, I'm kind of a little bit more on the Rams there. But Sam Darnold's been playing really well. Jackson Smith-Njigba has been playing really, really well. So, sorry, I'm so tired. I don't know who's going to win this one, but I will take the points with the Seahawks on the spread. And I will just say the Rams are going to win on the money line, but I will take the Seahawks with the points and the under 48.5. And then for the super teaser, I am going to take the underdog, which is Seattle, and bump them up to a touchdown. So 7.5 is what I'll take in the super teaser there. This could be a blowout. I mean, the Rams could easily win and dominate, but I also think the Seahawks could win and dominate. So like I said, this is going to be the best game of the week, in my opinion. All right, San Francisco and the Cardinals. While that awesome game is going on, this terrible game is going to be going on. The 49ers and the Cardinals. Now, the 49ers did win a close, low-scoring game already this year, and I think that was Mac Jones' first game. And the Cardinals, well, like his first game with the Niners this year. The Cardinals swept in 2024. The 49ers swept the 2 years before that. The 49ers are scoring about 22 points and allowing 23, and the Cardinals are scoring 22 points and allowing 23. So almost identical numbers here, which is kind of crazy. So it is in Arizona. That's why I will lean towards Arizona on the spread to get those points. But I'll lean San Francisco on the money line. And the under 48.5. The Niners have just been playing to the under in a lot of their games. I don't know why this would be any different. And the Cardinals' defense is probably their best unit. So I'll take Arizona plus the 7.5 in the super teaser, just like I did with Seattle against the Rams. All right, Baltimore and Cleveland. So the Ravens won this year in Baltimore already. The home teams won in 2024, so they traded. And then in 2023, the away teams won. So this is kind of like the Panthers and Falcons, where there hasn't been a lot of consistency between these two teams. So the Ravens are scoring 28.8 away, but the Browns are only allowing 11 at home. I still think both teams are going to be able to score. So I'm going to take 27-21 as the score. Baltimore on the money line, Browns on the spread, and then the over 39.5. And in the super teaser, I will take the Browns plus 14.5, which honestly doesn't sound good, but that's what I'm doing. All right, Kansas City at Denver. The last 5 times they matched up, the home teams won. And this is in Denver. Now, I think last year, if I remember right, Patrick Mahomes was sick for this game, or it might have been 2 years ago. I think he had a flu or something like that. So that could have been due to like why the Broncos won that game. I'm not trying to take anything away from the Broncos. I think they've had some crazy good games. They haven't really beat anybody good, and they always do struggle when they come up against a good team. So I will take the Chiefs on the money line. I will take Denver on the spread to just keep it close, and then over 44.5. And I'll take the Kansas City team total over 16.5 in the super teaser. All right, Detroit and the Eagles. The Eagles won the last 2 head-to-heads going back to 2021, and the Lions won the 3 before that, but those don't really matter. And both of these teams are scoring a ton of points. So I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I like the over. I'll say 30-28. I'm going to say Detroit money line, and then Eagles on the spread. I just think overall, I just think Detroit is the better team, and that might be some personal bias. I don't know, but I think they are the better team. In the super teaser, I will take the Detroit team total over 19.5, which I cannot believe I got it for that price. And then the last game here is the Dallas Cowboys at the Raiders, and I think this one's going to surprise people. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, like fairly low-scoring. I don't think it's going to go past 50, which is the total. And then the Cowboys are going to win easily, in my opinion. So Cowboys are scoring 35 at home and 25 away, roughly. The Raiders are scoring 20 at home and 11 away. So it's just, I know that anyone can score on the Cowboys, and I expect the Raiders to score. But I know anyone can score on the Raiders as well. And I expect that Cowboys defense to maybe be a little bit better. I mean, they paid for a couple pieces, so maybe it helps. So I'm going to say Dallas on minus 3.5. I will bet that. I would consider putting Dallas in a Moneyline parlay. And then for the super teaser, we're going to take the total up and go under. So I'm going to take the total up to 58.5 and then go under on that. All right, here is the super teaser. It's 14 legs. It's plus 71.82. I have not put this in because I have to go out of town to place a bet like this. And so I will do that on Friday. So these numbers are going to change a little bit. But this is what I have for you right now. So if you like any of these legs, go ahead and use them. But this is what I will be putting in or something close to it. And I love the payout. It's like 5 times, well, maybe 4, about 3.5 times better than the payout for the super teaser last week. All right, and then I'm also going to do a money line parlay with Dallas at the Raiders, Pittsburgh at the Bengals, and then, or not Pittsburgh at the Bengals, Pittsburgh hosting the Bengals, and then Buffalo hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So plus 213, I think that's a fair price for those 3. I am also going to bet Dallas minus 3.5 at the Raiders. I'm also going to bet the Browns plus 8.5 against the Ravens. And then I'm going to bet Jacksonville Moneyline plus 148 against the Chargers and the Tennessee Moneyline plus 308 at the Texans. I mean, they're at home versus the Texans, sorry. And Jacksonville's at home versus the Chargers. All right, so that's what I have for you today. If you want to get in for the cash prize giveaway today, since all of these are, well, not all of these are plus money. So we got 2 plus money bets. We got 2 regular line plays. So here's what you can do. You can either take the Dallas spread and the Browns spread together. They both have to hit. Or you can take either Jacksonville to win or Tennessee to win, or you can take the Moneyline Parlay. So those are the choices. Either pick a plus money bet or pick the 2 regular line bets. And that will get you in for the cash prize giveaway. No more Survivor picks. Unfortunately, I am out of my Survivor competition. I should have gone with my gut and picked the Rams, but I will be back next year to win that Survivor League. All right, thanks, guys.